What's good, guys? It's me, Gerald the Weeb here, back again with another video. Okay, I'm making this video late because I had to rewatch my older part to this ReZero. Yeah, I had a lot of information in it. Now, I'll be making my what if Asta had all types of mana tomorrow, or I can do a double upload. Just tell me in the comments. Now, let's get straight into the what if. Now, last time, Asta and Subaru met Ekidona, and they just gotten out the not out the trial, out of the tea party, and now I'm going over to Yuno. Now you might be wondering, how is Yuno in the story if I killed him off? Well, this is how he comes back. He has figured out a way to unmelt ice. His appearance has changed a little bit. He has taken over someone else's body. So yeah, it's because of that. I forgot what was his spirit. The spirit that's always next to him. She kind of saved him a little bit from losing his memory. She awakened right when he died, and someone has just been melting the ice all around him, and he's starting to scream Asta. And then as he starts to see something, he sees something dark and black. Yeah, I'll call him it's a dark pastry that has gotten him out. You might be wondering, how did he become dark pastry? Well, he had the little help of the devil to get himself out because of the since Sotella destroyed most of the Black Clover, killed all of the inhabitants. It made the devils take over the Black Clover world a lot more easier, and they started to figure out a way to get to the ReZero universe, and he found the dark. He found pastry. It's the same devil that Asta killed, you could say, and he found pastry. He found pastry, and he's trying to get into that world too, so he can try to take over it. Yeah, these devils are on demon timing. Anyway, he says, "Ha! This freaking dumb devil thinks he's gonna take over this world like he did our world. I don't think so. Now he's just gonna be sitting there for all eternity." Yeah. So tell me in the comments if you guys want the other devils from the other world to come to the ReZero one. Just tell me in the comments. And Yuno says, "What are you?" And Pastry's like, "I am a dark elf. I thought you would be dead. You would be dead when I iced you out. You're the first one I saw, so I unfreezed." Okay, I'm sorry for sneezing. Um, uh, see, I lost my thought. You were the lost. You're the first one I saw. You had a hole in your stomach. I don't understand how you're still alive. And yeah, Yuno is starting to notice that, but he doesn't feel anything, and it starts to heal. And he says, "Well, it looks like I'm lucky then." Well, that hole in this in Yuno's stomach will come in handy for the next part, but yeah, you'll see what I'm talking about in a future part if you watch the anime, uh, or the manga, or the light novel. You know what I'm saying. Now, Pastry says, "You're going to help me get up the other elves around this area. It's taken me a whole month just to get you out. Now I need your help. What type of magic do you have?" And Yuno says, "It's wind magic. And where's this? Doesn't look like the Clover Kingdom. Where are we?" "We're no longer in the Clover Kingdom. We're in a different world." "I know so. Satella's has messed us up pretty badly." And Yuno says, "Who's this Satella? She was the one that killed you. Now you're gonna have to help me, or I'll kill you." And Yuno says, well, he needs to learn more about information about this world, and he doesn't seem the elf that helped him doesn't seem that bad, so he decides to help him get out the other elves. And now we're going back to Asta and Subaru. Now, Asta and Subaru have gotten out of the trial, and they see that Amelia is still unconscious, and Asta picks her up, and Subaru goes to wake up Otto, and they then travel to the sanctuary, where Roswell and Ram are already they're already there. Now, Asta says, Roswell, why are you injured? I don't understand this. And Roswell says, this isn't supposed to be like this. He says it in a mumble. He says, don't worry about it, Asta. It's all good. Okay, I'm sorry. That was a weird accent. And Subaru says, well, I just want to hurry up and get the trial over. Do you think we should still do the plan you're talking about? And Asta said, let's see if Amelia can do it herself first, and then we'll go to my plan. Now we just have to wait. And so Asta and Subaru get to know Garfield a lot better. And Otto is he's just in the background. He's just helping the people. He's just helping the people in Sanctuary do minor tasks. And Amelia wakes up and she wants to go straight to the trial. And she says she still doesn't want to do it, but if it's going to help her get to her part of being a part of the kingdom, she'll do it. And Asta says, now that's a leader. You have to make sacrifices, even if it doesn't help you or your interest. And yeah, so Amelia, Asta, Asta, Garfield, and I think it was one of the Black Rezus came too, and they go straight to the first trial. And Asta drags Subaru in there too. We'll be doing it with you, so we can help you if you are having trouble in there. And we probably can't even we probably can't even do the trials if you have to be selected. So I'm pretty sure we can just stay in there. And Amelia says, thank you. And she walks in there. And as soon as Amelia walks in there, she passes out. And Asta says, well, that was quick. And he then throws Subaru up in there. And Subaru passes out too. And he says, oh, this is not good. And then he passes out. And he sees Lebet in his big devil form, and he's like, what are you doing? Why are you so big all of a sudden? And Lebet says, you'll be meeting her very soon. Who soon? And Asta sees Yuna, and Yuna says, Asta, why does it look like you're crying? Did something sadden you? And Asta says, it's just been so long since I've seen you. What are you on about? Anyway, Lucida said she wants you to come to your house. You know how she gets when she doesn't like waiting. And Father and Sister Lily will expect you back after you're done seeing your mother. And Asta says, mother? What are you on about? I don't have a mother. And Yuna says, that's very rude of you, Asta. You do have a mother. I don't have a mother, remember? Or we just have father. Stop being so forgetful. And he hits Asta in the head. We'll talk later. And don't forget, we need to do the Magic Knight exams in a couple of days from now. So we need to get ready. And Asta goes to Lucida. He says, what is this Lucida? And also keep Lebet under control. And Lebet is like shocked that this knows about him. Yeah, it's super weird. Oh yeah, this is the first trial if you don't know. And Asta sees Lucida. And he doesn't know Lucida because he was a baby when I'm pretty sure when she had to get rid of him or gave him to the church. And Asta says, I can't believe I'm actually meeting a real family member. And Lucida just punches him because she's like, What do you mean? I'm always been here. I'm not a terrible mother. Oh my goodness. I hit my coffee mix. Sorry. Anyway, and Asta's like, what is this trial? I don't understand it. And Lucido says, oh, a trial, I see. Well, you must actually meet the person who put you in the trial. That's the real question. Why are you here? And Asta says, to help Amelia become the queen of her world. That's why I'm here. I really didn't want to come here because I thought I was probably going to see something I would regret, but I needed Amelia to do it. And Asta says, but I'm not regretting it now. For now, Lucida says. Anyway, we need to get talking. And also you too, LeBay. And LeBay is like, he doesn't, he knew Lucida was going to be here, but he said it looks too much like her. So he doesn't come out the body. Asta, we need both of you to both come out and understand why are you doing this trial. The only way you are going to get out of this, you're going to be here for a very long time if you don't. And Asta starts to talk to LeBay, and he says, come out, LeBay. And LeBay, he doesn't listen to him. He really does not listen to him. And as the trial goes on, Asta starts to get LeBay to come out more and more. And yeah, so as LeBay starts to come out, he starts to cry because he hasn't seen Lucida in so long, and he says he was going to keep protecting Asta as long as he can. And Asta sees everyone that he left behind, his Black Bulls, everyone he's known, and he says, "I won't forget you guys. I'll come back to the Black Clover world and fix everything." And the first trial was completed, and it starts to break all around him. And he sees Ekidona, and Ekidona sees that he already finished his first trial, and she's like, "That's quite surprising. Well, your second trial and third trial are going to be a lot more difficult if you were able to beat yours so easily, your first one. Well, I have to go back to the others. We'll see you out of there quite soon." And Ekidona says, "Oh yeah, don't forget, I don't like this Amelia, so I'm not going to be helping her like I'm going to help you guys in the future ones." And Asta says, "Understood." And now we're going out of it. And Asta waited in there for an hour, and he starts to see that not Subaru is waking up. And he says, "Did you pass your trial? Amelia is still doing it." And Subaru's like, "Yes, I did." "What was your trial about, Asta?" That's what Subaru was saying. He says, "It was about my family that I lost. And the people I've met. What about yours?" And Subaru says, "It felt so real, but I know they were fake, but I'm glad that they would support me even if I left them, my both of my parents." And Asta says, "Well, your parents must be super nice. I met my mother in mine. I never seen her before." And Subaru says, "You never met your mother? So who's been taking care of you?" "Like I said, my church been taking care of me, and I then moved to the Black Bulls. So that's what's been taking care of me, mostly my whole life." And Amelia starts to wake up too, and she's in a panic, and she says, "No, no, 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 no." And yeah, she starts to freak out, and Asta was like, "What's going on with you, Amelia?" He says, "I knew I should have did my plan. Why did I have to go along with this?" And Subaru's starts to he says, "Amelia, you're all right." He starts to freak out a little bit too, and Asta says, "This isn't my place. Maybe Subaru can calm her down." And Asta says, Just pick her up, and we need to get her out of here. And Asta, then he leaves the trial, and he sees Garfield is still right there, and he says, "So how did Amelia do?" And Asta says, "It's gonna take her it's gonna take her a long time to get past the trials. It seems. What about you two? We passed them, but we need Amelia to do it. She's If she can't defeat her own past, she can't be a leader." And Garfield says, "Well, then at least we have you guys to. At least we have you three as options." And Austin says, "Wouldn't you be the fourth option?" And Garfield says, "I ain't doing those trials ever again." And Asta says, "Well, you should. I'm not. It's not my place to tell you anything, but the first trials, it doesn't seem like you've had a hard." And Asta, like, he stops himself and he says, "Well, you should do the trial when you're ready." And he says, "I did it when I was younger, and I'm not doing it ever again. Now leave me alone." And he leaves. Yeah, he leaves Asta. And Asta says, what a mean bag. I was just telling him he should defeat his fears of his past." And Asta says, "Well, I gotta help him after I finish helping Amelia then." And then it's now been 10 minutes later, and Asta, oh my goodness. Okay, no, a notification popped up. It's saying it's President's Day tomorrow, so it shocked me. Okay, it didn't shock me. It surprised me. Anyway, it's now been 10 minutes have passed, and Amelia's starting to finally calm down, and Asta and Subaru went to go talk to Roswell, and now after it's been 10 minutes, Ro- Roswell and Subaru and Asta are now talking. And Asta says, "Amelia told me about your deal. You said you'll let her, you unfreeze the ice that imprisons the elves, but I can do that. So does she still need to become a? I think I can do it. I should say. Does she still need to become a queen? I just need to know. Is this a part of your deal?" And Roswell says, "Yes, it is. And there's nothing you can do about our deal. Even if you unfreeze it, she still needs to try." And Subaru says, "Well, I think that's all the information we're gonna get out of him." And Asta says, "Stop being so pessimistic. Stop being such a weakling, I should say." Yeah, this Asta's just, after dying a couple times, he's a lot more intense. "I just want to go back to the Clover world as soon as possible so I can save them. And come back here so I can just be chilling. Now, I need Amelia to do this trial very fast. She needs to become the queen. I know it's gonna take her time, but I just need her to. I need her." And yeah, Subaru's like, "You're starting to sound a little bit desperate, Asta. You should just relax." And Asta just slaps Subaru's hand away, and he says, "You're going way too soft on her. She needs to be a ruler. She doesn't need anyone soft around her. We need to toughen her up. She just relies on Puck too much. This is why she probably felt the first trial. See how we passed ours? That means she must have had a traumatic a traumatic event happening in her past, and she couldn't defeat it. So that means she's the best out of both of us to do the other trials. That's what I'm trying to say." And Subaru says, "Asta, if we push her way too hard, then it's gonna backfire on us. Well, if it backfires, we always have it. The reset, don't we, Subaru?" And Roswell starts to look at Asta in a different way. He says, "So does he know about his return by death?" And Subaru starts to yell back, and he says, "We shouldn't be forcing her." And Asta says, "Subaru, if you're just going to hold her, held her hold her hand during this, it's not gonna help. She needs to do this by herself. And Subaru is like, oh, forget it. And he walks out of the room. And Asta says, I know you know something about the witch with that book of yours. See it under your pillow. What is it? And Roswell says, well, it's already going to be too late for you guys, but I'll give you a warning ahead. And Asta says, what do you mean a warning ahead? I already sent someone to deal with you guys. And Asta says, what do you mean you sent someone? And Roswell says, you'll see. And he starts to laugh. And Asta runs out of the room and he goes to run to Subaru, but he couldn't find Subaru. And so he went to go to Amelia, and Amelia was asleep, so he says, what the heck where's Subaru? And Subaru got super annoyed with Asta. And so Subaru went to go back to the mansion. Yeah, you might be wondering, why would Subaru do this? He says Asta's words kind of hit him a little bit too hard. He says, maybe I am holding back Amelia. Maybe I could just go back to the mansion. And so Asta tries to find him. He asks Otto and Ram, Ram or Ram, the same thing. He asks him, where's Subaru? And he says, I need Subaru to be here so I can go back to the mansion. And he runs into the forest trying to look for Subaru. And Subaru is already ahead of him. And Asta finally catches up to him, and he sees him, and he says, what the heck? Why would you run away? And Subaru says, I'm going back to the mansion. You said I would be holding her back, so I'll come back soon when she finish the first trial. Then I can help her with the other two. And Asta says, are you sure about this? The mansion could be in danger, and you could die. That's what Roswell seemed like he was telling. He's trying to kill us. And Subaru says, don't worry about it. We have, I'm pretty sure Yami should be back there by now. So it's all going to be all good. Are you sure you don't want me to come with you? And Subaru says, I'm pretty sure Yami got this. He's stronger than you, right? And we have Beatrice. So I'm pretty sure anyone he sent after us is going to be too weak. And Subaru keeps walking on. And Asta says, good grief. And he runs back to go get Petras. And he finds Subaru again. And Subaru rides off with Petras. And he says, it looks like I have to do it myself without Subaru then. I'm pretty sure he can handle this. And we're over to Subaru. Subaru takes him a day or two to get back to the mansion. And he walks in and he doesn't see anyone in there. And he says, where is everyone? He doesn't see Rem, Beatrice, Noel, or Gordon, or not even Yami. He says, what happened to them? Where are they? And they are, they're hiding. They're trying to figure out what is Elsa's weakness. They haven't fought her before, like Subaru and Asta did. And they sense Subaru walking around, and they try to figure out a way to get him without him getting caught. And Yami says, skip it. He's walking into that room with her. We need to attack. And as soon as Subaru walks into the room, he sees Elsa, and he says, shoot. And Elsa lunges at Subaru and says, this is my revenge. And he uses his dark cloak slash, and it lands a hit on Elsa, and it destroys her arm, just like what you could say Rom did, but it destroys it to a lot more of a degree. And yeah, then Gordon uses his his poison smoke magic, you could say, and then they get Subaru out of there, and he says, "Subaru, you know where the room is. Hurry up and try to find it." And yeah, so Subaru hurry ups and tries to find Beatrice's room, and he gets into the right room. And Yami says, "Geez, kid, you almost died." And he says, "Where's Asta? You guys usually be around each other." And Subaru says, "Me and Asta got into a fight, and he said I should probably leave because he thinks I will be holding back Amelia from you guys going back to the Clover Kingdom." And Yami says, "Geez, what's wrong with the kid? Something must have happened to him. Did you guys finish the trials?" "Well, she's not going to be able to find us for a while, so we should at least talk." And Subaru says, "Yes. He finished the first trial, and I finished the first trial." And he says, "Good, I finished mine. I'm still stuck on the second one." Anyway, like I was saying, do you have any idea who this woman is? He changes the subject, and Subaru says it's Elsa. She's been a big thorn in me and Asta's side for a minute now. She really doesn't like us a lot. Asta tried to kill her a couple of times, but he kind of failed. And Yami says, "Yeah, she is a strong woman. I can understand how he could fail." And Noelle's like, yeah, like she's just like super surprised that Asta is trying to kill people. Yeah, she's just starting to have a different idea of what Asta is in this world. And Gordon says we probably should figure out a plan to defeat her before she comes back here. And Frederica and Rem said we should try to seal her just like we did with the Mob Beast Tamer somehow. And Yami says, "No, I have a good idea. Beatrice, you should be stronger than this woman, right? I just need you to kill her and then I'll finish it off." And Beatrice says, "What's the plan then? We're gonna let her come inside, you kill her, and then I finish her. Since she's like a vampire, right? That's what I've been hearing. Vampires need to, they don't stay dead, so we need to double tap her." And Beatrice says, "Fine then. I'll see what I can do." And they all wait for Elsa to find the room. And Yami says he charges up his dimension slash. He's charging it. He's waiting for Elsa to fully come. And Elsa throws in a dagger right into the room, and it hits Beatrice. But Beatrice, um, it hits her, but it doesn't kill her because she kind of catches it with her magic. So it's not a deep enough a deep enough wound to kill her. And she shoots. I forgot what Beatrice magic was, but she can freeze. She has like ice type of magic too. So she freezes Elsa, and she then kills her with that freeze attack because it hit her point blank. And Yami says, "Well, that was a lot more easier. Well, you guys better get down." And he charges up on dimensions. His dimension slash is fully done, and Rem grabs Subaru to get him out of the way so they can get out of there. And yeah, they get all the way close to the bookcase and go through a secret passage. And he says, "Dimension slash!" And after Elsa is in the frozen form, he slices her to do a double tap. And I think this would actually kill Elsa because I'm pretty sure Elsa's not surviving some dimension cutting stuff, unless unless Beatrice's magic is dimension level, I guess. And yeah, so Elsa would be dead for this part. And Yami says, "Whoa, Well, that was a lot more easier than I thought it would be. Well, I probably wouldn't be able to land my dimension slash on her if Beatrice wasn't here. And then he picks up Beatrice and throws her into the air. Say cheers for Beatrice, this little child. Yeah. And Subaru's like, oh my goodness, that woman's finally dead. And he says, I'm going to my room. You guys can handle this. And yeah, Subaru goes to go to sleep, and he says, well, it's time for us to drink again. Yeah, that's what Yami says. Your cheers. Now we just have to wait for Amelia to finish the trial. Cheers, hooray. And now they go to check on the other the Mobby's tamer, and she's still sealed. So they put Elsa's what remains of Elsa into the air with the Mobby's tamer, and they put her far away from it so they won't be able to touch each other. And yeah, Beatrice seals it back up. And Subaru is like, I need to write a letter so Asta can get this. And it's going to take 3 days to get there, so it's gonna be all right. Yeah, so yeah, Subaru. It's now been a couple hours after this. Subaru writes a letter to Asta saying that he defeated Elsa. So Roswald's plan has been foiled, and yeah, so Subaru says, I'll deliver it in person in 3 days from now. Pretty sure Amelia can do it by then. And now I'm going to be jumping 3 days into the future. And Subaru's on his way to go back to the sanctuary, but it's already too late. Asta has kind of went a little bit crazy, you could say. He's just woken up and he sees these deadly rabbits have been attacking everyone, and he sees that the building where Otto usually stays at is on fire, and he tries to go in there, but he sees too many rabbits, and they all try to attack him, but he runs away. And he then goes straight to Roswell, and he says, "Why is there so many rabbits here?" And he sees that Garfield and Rom are both dead. They're both dead. One Garfield has his head smashed in, and Rom is body is like has a whole. She got DO'd. Okay, let's just say that. Okay. Anyway, and Roswell says, "Looks like Subaru failed, just like you, Asta. Well, it's really not your fault. I wouldn't have expected this to happen either. Looks like you're gonna have to try harder next time." And Asta says, "What do you mean? Was this a part of your plan too?" And Roswell says, "No, it was not. Looks like Subaru took your words to mind. He actually didn't come back until the trial was done. This is all your fault too. He could have brought Yami and Noel and Gordon, even Rem. I didn't mean to say Ram. I mean Rem. Well, this is your fault anyway, so it doesn't matter at this point." And Asta says, I'll fix this in the next timeline. You just wait. You can bet on it." And Roswell says, "Well, good luck with that timeline." And Asta sees that the rabbits are starting to come in, and he tries to find Amelia. He says, and he just kicks Roswell into the rabbits so he could get eaten up. And he says, "Where's Amelia? Maybe she can finish the trial and the rabbits will go away." And Amelia is just surrounded by all the rabbits, and she starts to be getting eaten up. And Asta uses his devil power, and he slashes at all of the rabbits, and he grabs at Amelia, and she's lost. They bit off her entire leg, and he's just dragging her, and he says, "Amelia, heal your leg." And Amelia's just starting to give up. She's like, I don't have Subaru or Puck. It's just you, Asta. We're going to die. There's no way we're going to defeat the rabbits. It's just the last two of us. And Asta says, "Don't worry, I got this." And he flies to to a high point. He flies to the trees, and he says, "What? Oh, where's Subaru? I can't fly forever. They're going to catch me." And yeah, the rabbits start to now down on the tree now, and he says, "Oh goodness, oh my goodness." And yeah, Amelia says, "You need to go to Subaru and tell them that the rabbits are going to be attacking." And Amelia let takes her grabs Asta's hand, and Asta says, "What are you doing? We need to. I need you alive so you can become the queen of this world." And she lets go of Asta's hand, and Asta tries to grab her, but he misses, and Amelia gets eaten by the rabbits. And he says, "Why would you do this? Why is this happening to me?" And Asta says, "Oh my goodness, the tree's almost coming down. Why would she let go? What type of world is this? Subaru, where is he?" And Asta's like he's starting to like, "Oh my goodness, I need Subaru. Where is he? Please, Subaru, come and help me." And he starts to fly away again, but it's now been over a whole hour, and keeps trying to kill the rabbits, but they keep multiplying too quickly. And he's still flying back to to the mansion so he can go and get Subaru's help, but his magic start is starting. I mean, his anti magic is starting to his devil form is starting to deplete, so he can't use it as much. And he says, "I can't go on," and he falls to the ground. And he's starting to see that it's now starting to become sunlight. And he says, "No, Subaru, please." And Asta sees that the hundreds of rabbits are starting to catch up with him. And he says, "Oh my goodness, this is gonna suck." And Asta's like, "Lebed, do you have any ideas what we should do?" And Lebed says, "You're just going to have to be eaten until Subaru comes to save you or something. This timeline's already messed up anyway." And Asta says, "You're right. It's no point." And Subaru starts to finally make it to he starts to make it to the sanctuary, and he hears Asta's scream in agony. And he says, "What? Why is Asta screaming in agony? What is this?" And he doesn't see Asta because it's too snowy, and Asta is just being slowly being eaten by the rabbits. They enter all parts of his body, which they're going to do to Subaru quite soon. And Subaru says, "Oh my goodness, why is everything so snowy?" And Subaru knows that something bad happened here. He says, "Are you gotta be kidding me? I need to defeat Elsa in this, then this, and also have to help Amelia with the trials? What is this? How are we gonna do this?" And yeah, Subaru sees the bunny rabbit, and he says, "I don't remember seeing you. Maybe because it changed to winter, you guys come out." And Subaru's arm gets amputated by the rabbit, and then his leg. And he says, yeah, he starts to do the thing in his anime. He starts to hyperventilate, and he says, "It must have been you guys who killed Asta and Amelia, wasn't you?" And he tries to run away, but the rabbits all surround him and start to eat him alive. And as he screams in agony. And that's where I'll be leaving off for this part. Yeah, I know. Well, we'll see if Asta and Subaru can fix this in the next timeline. Now, hopefully you guys enjoyed this What If. I know it's long. I like to make these parts long. Now, I'm going to be premiering it. Now, like I said, they're going to be making all types of mana tomorrow. So, peace out, guys. Bye.